Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today's video is about the general differences between the ZO Skin Health Retinols and the formulation behind them. My name is Dr. Anya Weissman. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and share with a friend. There are 4 general categories of ZO Skin Health Retinols, but in actuality there are 7 because the Retinol Skin Brightener comes in 3 concentrations. Before we get into them, let's talk about formulation a little bit. There are retinols that are formed using an oleosome, and there are retinols that are formed using a microemulsion. And it's really important to understand the difference, because once you understand the difference, you can sort of figure out which one may be best for you. What is a microemulsion and how does it work? A microemulsion, or an emulsion in general, is a combination of water and oil and a surfactant. The surfactant is necessary because, as I'm sure you already know, if you pour oil and water into a cup, they clearly separate. And even if you shake that cup, you can see within seconds the separation beginning to form. So they do not stick together. And that's where the surfactants come in. Surfactants break that dislike between the oil and the water so that they can get along and get closer together. And the way this works is by a concept called surface tension. And you've seen surface tension before, you just may have not known that that's what it was called. Imagine a freshly cleaned car that has been waxed on the surface. If you pour water on that waxed surface, what happens? You get these big, tall bubbles of water. They don't lay flat. The surface tension between that water droplet and the wax on the car prevents the water from just spreading out and flattening. Now, if you imagine a surface and you pour alcohol onto that surface, the alcohol just spreads right out. It doesn't get repelled. So if you pour alcohol on oil, it will spread out. You've also seen the same concept when you've overfilled a glass. There's a point before the water spills over where you can see it raise above the glass level but still stay contained in the glass. And then if you just add that one extra drop, the whole thing spills over. So it's that surface tension that's keeping that water together. When you eliminate that surface tension, when you reduce that tension with a surfactant, then water doesn't stick to itself anymore like that, and then it will go into the oil and they will combine together. Back to formulating. When you take a retinol and you make a microemulsion with it. So when you make an emulsion, those droplets can be of various sizes. They can be very, very big, and you can imagine a big droplet isn't going to penetrate very far, or they can be very, very tiny. So if you imagine you have retinol with water surrounded by a lipid with surfactant that gets along with the lipids in the epidermis, the superficial epidermis, but there's also water there which doesn't want to be intimate with more oil or lipid in the skin, what ends up happening is that it bypasses that lipid layer, almost like a Ferrari, just deep into the skin. It takes a deep dive. And the reason it's able to do that is because these microemulsified droplets are so tiny. If they were big, yeah, they'd get hung up, they'd get stuck. But the retinol in the microemulsion, those molecules are very, very tiny. And so it just zips right through into the dermis. Now, the other technology is an oleosome, and an oleosome mimics the lipids in the skin. So like meets like, they get along great. And as they melt into the skin, the oleosome breaks open and all the retinol is released. So it never has a chance to penetrate very deeply, because before the little oleosome can penetrate through the epidermis, it's already been dissolved. So really briefly, because I will do a separate video on each and every one of these. If you're interested in a particular one, you can learn more about it. But this video is to help guide you which one you might be interested in. Starting with the Radical Night Repair, this product was designed for rapid desquamation or exfoliation of the superficial layers of the skin. So if I tell you that this is designed to work on the superficial layers of the epidermis, then which type of formulation was used? It would be the oleosome, so that the fat in the fat bubble would dissolve and the retinol would be released, and it's like a flash release of a high concentration of retinol. That's how this product was designed, and it's designed to work on the superficial layers of the skin, which are great for fine lines, texture, pigmentation. The Radical Night Repair was actually designed as a peel you can do at home over a period of 3 to 5 days, and we will go over that in more detail in the Radical Night Repair video. But that is this product in a nutshell. Next, we have the Retinol Skin Brightener. This product, its primary target and focus is pigment. That's why it's called the Skin Brightener. The technology in here is to address pigment that's superficial and pigment that's deeper. So it's a combination of an oleosome and a microemulsion to get the retinol to every layer of the skin. And in addition, it's full of other ingredients that help inhibit melanogenesis, pigment transfer, pigmentation in general. The Wrinkle Texture Repair was kind of like a comparison to tretinoin, but not really. And it is designed with a microemulsion. So it is designed to go deep into the skin where the fibroblasts live and stimulate the fibroblasts, meaning it's going to work on aging, deep wrinkles, collagen synthesis, glycosaminoglycan synthesis like hyaluronic acid, and rejuvenation of the skin on a deeper level. However, since the Wrinkle Texture and Repair, the Complex A+ has been released this year, it is really a tretinoin cousin or sister, fraternal twin. Similar but not the same. It still is a retinol. It's not retinoic acid, but it is very, very strong. It is the strongest retinol out of all of the ZO Skin Health Retinols. It is a microemulsion that is formulated to go deep, but because it is at such a high concentration, it really works on every single layer of the skin. So if you have any questions, leave them down below. I will make a separate video on each and every product to take a deeper dive into each one of these, help you understand how they work so that you can figure out which one might be best for you. And in the meantime, leave me questions down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.